Hello everybody, this is Dee from Dee's Cute and Crafty, and I am back with 4 new fall decor pieces for you today, one of which will be a Halloween decor piece. I'm so excited to show you what we're going to be making, so let's get into this video. I have some of the burlap from Dollar Tree. I've got this thicker jute twine that I will not be using. I have some of the lace Dollar Tree ribbon. I have some of this beautiful plaid and burgundy pumpkin kind of ribbon from Joann's. I have 5 skewer sticks, Dollar Tree. I've got some jute rope, Dollar Tree, and a piece of cardboard. I use the small piece as my template to make this bigger piece. And I have various flowers and greenery picks from Dollar Tree, Joann Fabrics, Walmart, Hobby Lobby. They come from everywhere. I just dove into my stash and got what I could find. And we are making a basket to hang on my front door. So I cut out my shape of what I felt like was a pretty good basket, and I am taking my skewer sticks and cutting them down to size so that they fit on this basket. And I'm just going to hot glue the top and the bottom of the skewer stick to the cardboard and leave the middle open because we're going to thread that burlap ribbon through that. Now that they're all glued down, we're going to take that ribbon and go over, under, over, under. And because I want this to be very dimensional and textured, I'm just going to scrunch that ribbon down. Every time I add a piece of ribbon, I'm just going to scrunch it down. And then we're going to hot glue it to the back of this cardboard. This one was so fun and easy to do, and it is my favorite of the 4 that I will be showing you today. Thank you to everyone who stopped by to watch my video today. You are amazing. Thank you for choosing me. Thank you to all of my new subscribers. You guys rock. And thank you to all of my subscribers that have been with me for a while. I love you. So when I first used my bamboo skewers, I thought I would leave them natural because I like them natural. But after I put the burlap on, it just felt like it blended too much. It kind of got lost in the burlap. So I went in with my Dollar Tree furniture repair marker in the color walnut, and I just went over them and stained them with that marker. And it made it pop a little more. Now I'm going in with my farmhouse ribbon, and we're just going to add a little trim to the bottom and to the top, and then we're going to add that jute cord. Well, actually, nautical cord. Okay, and now that we've got all that done, I took 3 pieces of that nautical cord and I braided it together, and I used the thin jute twine to tie off each end so that it doesn't unravel, and that is going to be our handle. Now I'm just going to set that handle aside and start putting my floral pieces into the back of the burlap of this sign, or of this basket, just tucking it down in the burlap, getting it as full as I want it. And then we're going to take that leftover piece of burlap and tape it to the back, covering up all of those stems. Now I'm going to add my handle using a lot of hot glue, and then I'm going to take some of that nautical cord and secure the handle even more by going over it and down the sides of it with that cord and gluing that down also. And now that that's all done, I took my plaid ribbon and I just tied the bow that I normally make, and we're just going to hot glue that on, and this one is done. It is beautiful. I absolutely love it, and I hope you guys do too. Look at the pops of color in that. Gorgeous. Here is the final reveal of DIY number 1. It is currently hanging on my front door. I could not wait. I love it. And you guys already know what I need you to do. If you love these videos and you want to see more from me, please give it a big fat thumbs up and consider subscribing. And if you do decide to subscribe, don't forget to hit the notification bell as well so you never miss out on another cute and crafty DIY with D. When you guys watch my videos, and give it a thumbs up and comment down below. That lets YouTube know that you like my content, and it pushes me out a little bit more. Other people can see my videos, and it helps my channel grow. So thank you very much. DIY number 2 is a 2-sided table decor piece. I will be using that thick jute cord from Walmart, some of this mesh tubing from Dollar Tree, these beautiful pom-pom looking pieces that I got from, I believe, Hobby Lobby, this polka dot ribbon from Old Time Pottery. I've got some hot wood glue. I have some little wooden leaves from Hobby Lobby, and I have these 2 fresh signs from the Dollar Tree. I'll also be using my Hello Hobby chalk paint in White Swan, and I will also be using the Hello Hobby chalk paint in Sage. So we're just going to start off by removing those metal pieces and sanding it down, taking the stickers off the back and sanding that down, and we're going to leave it exactly the way it is. I am not going to paint the center of this pumpkin, because that's what it's going to be, because I love the distressed look of it and I love the color of this wood. So we're going to add some wood glue and some hot glue for that short-term, long-term hold that we love to do. And then I'm going to add a couple staples, one at the top and one at the bottom, just to make sure this holds together, because this is a chunkier kind of heavy piece. So we want to make sure it holds. So I did go and paint the outside edges of the pumpkin with the white chalk paint, and I also am going to go in and sand it down and give it that old weathered worn distressed look that I absolutely adore. I can't get away from it. Now I'm going to take these 2 pieces of scrap wood and I'm going to wrap them in that thicker jute twine to make the stem for this pumpkin. And now that I've got that done and glued down, I'm going to attach it to the pumpkin with some more hot glue. And I'm going to add some glue down the sides and on the bottom, just to make sure this stays in place. Now I'm taking my Hello Autumn sign, the wood sign from Dollar Tree, coming in a pack of maybe 5 or 6 of all different kinds of sayings. I did go in and paint that with the Hello Hobby Sage. Doing a little bit of cleanup, I just secured it with some hot glue, and I'm going to add 4 of these little cute wooden leaves. And now that that is done, I'm going to make a bow. I'm going to use some of this mesh tubing just to make a small bow. And then I'm going to use that pretty orange and green and yellow polka dot ribbon to make a bigger bow. We're going to attach the 2 together with some jute cord and then hot glue them to the top of the pumpkin. And this side of the pumpkin will be done This came out really pretty. You could use it one way, just in your home decor, or you can turn it and use it the other way. I feel like it would go great in your kitchen. Oh, you guys, it's not done. We're going to add some of those beautiful orange pom-pom pieces. We're going to staple those down, and then we're going to put our bow on, and then we'll be done. How can I forget those? Those are gorgeous. I love those. Because I have a chunky stem at the top, it was really easy to use my staple gun because it had something to hook onto. It wasn't a thin, flimsy piece of wood. So I liked having that thicker piece just so I could staple it down and not have to use a ton of glue there. There's one side. Now let's work on the other side. So for this side, I'll be using my Hello Hobby chalk paint in the color pumpkin and my Waverly chalk paint in the color sage. And I am going to paint the center of the pumpkin on this side. I feel like that sage paint will just lend itself nicely to the colors that are already in the paper on this side. And this was the original paper, as you saw in the beginning, that came with this sign, these two signs that I put together. I like it because it has fresh on it with the vegetables sitting in the crate, so it really feels like something that would go in the kitchen to me. And so I'm just pulling that color green up by using that green paint in the middle. I have some of these leaves that I picked up from Dollar Tree and just getting some of those glued down to add color. Since this side will not have a bow, we're just going to put the leaves on it. And then I have my Farm Fresh sign from that same pack of words that I use for the other side of the sign. And I painted it white, but my paintbrush still had some orange paint on it, so I didn't even clean the paintbrush in between. I left that there, and it gave it a really, really soft, peachy, pale kind of color, which I love. Sanded it down a little bit, added some hot glue to the back, and just adhered it on in the center. And this is a beautiful, absolutely beautiful two-sided decor piece. This is so pretty, and I love how it turned out. You guys know what? If you guys love it too, comment down below. Let me know which one of the four is your favorite today. I would love to know that. I just absolutely enjoy seeing the comments on which ones you guys pick to see if it's the same one I picked. So please let me know. Moving on to DIY number 3, I have what's left of one of the canvas frames. I have some MDF board that I cut to size to fit the canvas frame. I have 9 little ovals or jelly bean shapes cut out of MDF, and I have some transfer rub-ons from Dollar Tree. I have my Hello Hobby in Sage and my Waverly in the Waverly Wax. I've got some white chalk paint that I made, some jute cord. I have this beautiful green striped ribbon, and I also have some little twigs that I found in my moss, my Spanish moss, and I decided these would be perfect to make stems because we're going to make some wall decor or some hanging decor with these little stems. We're going to make some pumpkins. So I took my frame and I stained it in the Waverly Antique Wax, set it aside, and now I'm doing, like, when you see a picture that has that matte framing around it, I'm giving it that kind of look, that kind of framing. So I just measured out my ruler and got all my lines straight, and now in the center of that I am doing my shiplap look that I love to do, or barnwood, whichever one it is. You guys let me know. And I'm just taking that Dollar Tree whittling tool that I love to use, and I'm scoring it and making some lines in that MDF board. I just love doing that. It's one of my favorite things. I think it just looks so much better when you do that. And now I'm going along the outer edges with my my Waverly chalk paint and sage. And then in the middle of that sign, I used my Waverly chalk paint in elephant and painted it gray. And now I'm going in with my white chalk paint, my homemade white chalk paint, and I'm painting all of these little ovals white. I took some of that jute cord and I braided it together so that I would have something to trim out this sign with. So I'm just gluing that down. And now I'm going to take all of my little ovals that I painted and I'm going to start getting my rub-on transfers on there. I'm just going through the rub-on transfer packet and cutting out the pieces that I want to use and just getting those transferred onto the ovals. Now that I've got all of the transfers on the way that I want them, I'm going to start getting these glued together to make our little pumpkins. So I added that middle piece on and then I trimmed, or not trimmed, I traced around the edges. So that gave me a really good idea as to where I wanted to place my transfers. I wanted them on the outer edge so that when I place that middle oval in there, it does not cover them up. So when you make your markings on the sides, that lets you know where your oval should, or where your transfer should be. These are so adorable. I love these. You could actually put a little wood cube or tumbling tower block in the back so that these stand on their own, and just go ahead and put them on a tiered tray. I would paint the back all white just because it looks unfinished. So I would paint it all white if I were going to just stand it on its own on a tier tray. But since you're not going to be able to see that, I did not bother painting it. I took some of my little clothespin wood pieces that I had, and I just broke the clothespin apart into two different pieces, and I'm just gluing it to the back to give it some elevation because I want it to sit up. And then I took those little stems that I found in my Spanish moss and I glued those to the top of each pumpkin. Now I'm taking my wood glue and I'm just going to, or wood glue, my hot glue, and I'm just going to hot glue my trim back onto, or onto the MDF. It was not on MDF, it was on canvas. But the canvas was not going to work for this DIY, so I got rid of the canvas and I replaced it with MDF board. So now we're just going to glue down all our little pumpkins. And here you see me using this green striped ribbon that I got from Hobby Lobby. It was the last one they had. The ribbon was super on sale, so I loaded up. This ribbon is beautiful. It is good quality ribbon. It is thick ribbon. It is wired ribbon. I absolutely love it, and I will be sad when it's gone. I'm going to have to keep my eye out so I can get some more. So I just did 2 bows or 2 loops on each side. Then I added in some of that beautiful lacy farmhouse ribbon. And I made my tails and I pinched everything together, and I'm tying it off with the jute cord. And then I'll fluff my bow and add it to the top corner of this sign. There it is. Super cute. So you guys, I love this one as well, and it was really hard for me to choose a favorite for this video. It truly was, but the basket won out. That orange was just, I thought it was magnificent. The color, I don't know what it is about fall and orange and yellow, but I love it. It's just so pretty and vibrant. Moving on to DIY number 4 and the final one in the video, I have 4 of these orange beads. I have some MDF. You know we're going to be cutting something out. Half of a leftover pumpkin. Some of these wood DIYs from Dollar Tree. I have fabric from Joann Fabrics. I have my homemade black chalk paint and the Hello Hobby white chalk paint. Hello Hobby and pumpkin and Waverly and elephant. Mod Podge and some white paint markers and a pencil. So I hand cut out this gnome. We've done a gnome before, but this one for Halloween is so cute. I cut out his nose and his arms and 3 little pieces of banner. We're going to make a banner for this one. So I cut that out and I measured off where I wanted my holes to go. So I have 2 holes at the top of each one, and I just pressed them through using an awl. And I'm going to go ahead and paint them in my black chalk paint, and I'm leaving them a little rough as far as the painting goes because I want that MDF to show through because I love the look of it. And now that they're painted, I'm just writing in the word boo. And I also did a little bit of black paint on the sleeve of the arms. And the spider and the bat were already painted. As you can see, it was part of that wood DIY packet that I got from Dollar Tree. I am going to add a little hot glue to the tip of my jute just to make it pointy and stiff so that it's easier to thread my beads and my banner pieces onto the cording. And I just painted these beads on a skewer stick. It was only 4 of them, so it was an easier way to go. Now that my banner's done, we're just going to set that to the side, and I am going to take my Mod Podge and I'm going to use one of the foam brushes from the Dollar Tree, and everywhere that I want my fabric to stick is where I'm going to put the Mod Podge. Being very careful not to put it on that brim part of the hat because I'm going to paint that black, so I don't want any fabric to stick there. And just laying my fabric down and smoothing it out. This fabric was really pretty, and I've got more of it left, so I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I know I'll come up with something. So now I'm just removing the fabric that's not glued down away from the brim of the hat, adding more Mod Podge on top of the fabric and getting that smoothed down. Now I'm just going to cut little slits everywhere that the hat dips in because it'll be easier to press that fabric into the dip of the hat if that fabric has been cut. So because I can't wait, I use my hair dryer to dry everything so that I could get it cut. And now I'm just going in with my Hello Hobby chalk paint in the color pumpkin, and I am painting the gnome's clothes. And you guys, if you can hear thunder, it is raining and storming like crazy here. So if you can hear the thunder, that's what it is. And it's still super hot. It's like 8:30, 8:45, and it is at p.m. and it is hot. I painted his arms as well, and now I'm going in with this mixture that I created of some white chalk paint, a little bit of nutmeg from Apple Barrel, and then some of the orange that was left on my brush to make this peachy pale kind of flesh tone color. So I painted his hands, and now I'm painting his nose in that color that I created. And here you see me going in my Waverly chalk paint in the color elephant, and I'm painting his beard. Now I'm going in with my Hello hobby chalk paint in the color Swan or White Swan, and I'm just giving that beard some definition, giving it some highlights, just bringing it to life. And I did go on with my Gator sander and I sanded on top of that beard a little bit to make it nice and soft so the colors weren't too harsh, that white wasn't too stark. Now I'm taking my Hello Hobby markers, and I'm using brown and also black to give this pumpkin some definition, using the black for the face and using the brown for the lines in the pumpkin. Here you see me taking my X-Acto knife and making a little well or divot in the back of the foam so I can add hot glue and my stem for this pumpkin. And just going to glue it down to the bottom of the gnome. Taking a little bit of that jute cord, I'm going to tie a tiny little bow, and you're going to need 3 of those because we're going to put one at the top of the pumpkin stem and one in each hand where the banner is going to be held. This DIY was totally inspired by a DIY that I saw at Big Lots when I picked up those truck napkins. And I decided, oh my gosh, this is so cute. I know I can make it. I'm just going to make it my own. I'm going to change it up. It was truly the inspiration, but it is not an exact dupe by any stretch of the imagination. I added the spider and I added the bat and I did the nose different and the hands, and the hat's not exactly the same. So I definitely had the inspiration, but I made it my own. So now we're getting his arms glued on. I just marked them with a pencil where I wanted them to be and then went back in and hot glued them. After I lined up the banner to make sure it was going to hang the way I wanted to, then I secured his arms, and now I'm going to secure the banner. And now I am gluing down the banner because I don't want it to move around. So we're getting that glued down. And because I didn't like the raw edge of the material as it touched the brim of the hat, I went in with some of that thicker jute cord and I just trimmed it out. And that made it really nice and neat. So here it is, you guys, DIY number 4, the last one of the video, and it is all done. I love how this one came out, and it really almost was my first choice, but I will choose a gnome or snowman first over anything else. So I took him out of the running. I didn't even let him be one of my choices. The basket won out, but it is a strong second. That double-sided pumpkin is my third, and my 3 little pumpkins on the green framing is my 4th. That is the order that these DIYs come in today. This is so stinking cute. I hope you guys recreate some of these. And if you do, show them off. Let me see them. Here is the final reveal of everything I made. Again, if you guys decide to recreate any of these, please go over to D's Cute and Crafty DIY Divas, my free Facebook group. And if you're not already a member, ask to join, and admin will let you in and you can show off all of your beautiful DIYs. You can get inspiration over there and also give some as well. I would truly love to have you. You guys, making this today was so much fun. I enjoyed every last bit of it. And I hope you guys did too. If you made it to this far in the video, give me a leaf. And if you don't have a leaf, then type in the word leaf. That just lets me know you hung out with me today from beginning to end. And I so enjoy that. I love talking to you in the comments, so leave me one and I will talk to you. I will respond. And you guys, all I can say each and every time is thank you. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for choosing D's Cute and Crafty as one of your DIY videos or DIY content creators that you enjoy watching. It means the world to me. Give it a thumbs up. That lets YouTube know you like my content. They will share me out a little bit more so other people can see my content as well. If you have the ability to share my videos, please consider sharing my videos. I would greatly appreciate it. It helps my channel grow, and I'm grateful. You guys, thank you so much. Be blessed. Stay safe. And craft something beautiful today, you guys. I will see you in my next one. Bye.